Introduction of Proposed Roads to Freedom. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Todd Garrison. Proposed Roads to Freedom by Bertrand Russell. Introduction. The attempt to conceive imaginatively a better ordering of human society than the destructive and cruel chaos in which mankind has hitherto existed is by no means modern. It is at least as old as Plato, whose Republic set the model for the utopias of subsequent philosophers. Whoever contemplates the world in the light of an ideal, whether what he seeks be intellect or art or love, or simple happiness, or altogether, must feel a great sorrow in the evils that men needlessly allow to continue. And, if he be a man of force and vital energy, an urgent desire to lead men to the realization of the good which inspires his creative vision. It is this desire which has been the primary force moving the pioneers of socialism and anarchism, as it moved the inventors of ideal commonwealths in the past. In this, there is nothing new. What is new in socialism and anarchism is that close relation of the ideal to the present sufferings of men, which has enabled powerful political movements to grow out of the hopes of solitary thinkers. It is this that makes socialism and anarchism important, and it is this that makes them dangerous to those who batten, consciously or unconsciously, upon the evils of our present order of society. The great majority of men and women, in ordinary times, pass through life without ever contemplating or criticizing, as a whole, either their own conditions or those of the world at large. They find themselves born into a certain place in society, and they accept what each day brings forth, without any effort of thought beyond what the immediate present requires. Almost as instinctively as the beasts of the field, they seek the satisfaction of the needs of the moment, without much forethought, and without considering that by sufficient effort the whole conditions of their lives could be changed. A certain percentage, guided by personal ambition, make the effort of thought and will which is necessary to place themselves among the more fortunate members of the community. But very few among those are seriously concerned to secure for all the advantages which they seek for themselves. It is only a few rare and exceptional men who have that kind of love toward mankind at large that makes them unable to endure patiently the general mass of evil and suffering, regardless of any relation it may have to their own lives. These few, driven by sympathetic pain, will seek, first in thought, and then in action, for some way of escape, some new system of society by which life may become richer, more full of joy, and less full of preventable evils than it is at present. But in the past such men have, as a rule, failed to interest the very victims of the injustices which they wish to remedy. The more unfortunate sections of the populations have been ignorant, apathetic from excess of toil and weariness, timorous of the imminent danger of immediate punishment by the holders of power, and morally unreliable owing to the loss of self-respect resulting from their degradation. To create among such classes any conscious, deliberate effort after general amelioration might have seemed a hopeless task, and, indeed, in the past, it has generally proved so. But the modern world, by the increase of education and the rise in standard of comfort among wage earners, has produced new conditions, more favorable than ever before to the demand for radical reconstruction. It is above all the socialist, and in a lesser degree the anarchist, chiefly as inspirers of syndicalism, who have become the exponents of this demand. What is perhaps most remarkable in regard to both socialism and anarchism is the association of a widespread popular movement with the ideals for a better world. The ideals have been elaborated, in the first instance, by solitary writers of books, and yet powerful sections of the wage-earning classes have accepted them as their guide in the practical affairs of the world. In regard to socialism, this is evident, but in regard to anarchism, it is only true with some qualification. Anarchism, as such, has never been a widespread creed. It is only in the modified form of syndicalism that it has achieved popularity. Unlike socialism and anarchism, syndicalism is primarily the outcome, not of an idea, but of an organization. The fact of trade union organization came first, and the ideas of syndicalism are those which seemed appropriate to this organization in the opinion of the more advanced French trade unions. But the ideas are, in the main, derived from anarchism, and the men who gained acceptance from them were, for the most part, anarchists. Thus, we may regard syndicalism as the anarchism of the marketplace as opposed to the anarchism of isolated individuals which had preserved a precarious life.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?